Alright, we're live. No Look Podcast. Your boy Yo Soy, AC Weezy, the man goddamn. And I don't know if we ever formally came up with a nickname, but it's our guy, Big Beans.
Big Booty Beans.
Big Miller Lite,
man
Big
of
Vape,
many.
whatever you want to call him that day. It's big and then some kind of adjective?
Adjective.
Alright.
What's that game that you play that you do the adjectives and then a noun and then Mad Libs, yeah.
I was right there.
Big Beans he's Big Mad Libs.
I'm a walking Mad Lib.
That's one way to look at it. As you can tell, we got a different location. I think I already said we're in Tampa, right?
Tampa, Florida.
We're in Tampa, at an undisclosed location. Can't give
Formerly
away.
known as my apartment.
Yes, okay. We got the drinks rolling. I'm a Claw guy. We got
Cheers.
the Miller boys over here.
Miller
Not
boys
to be
for life.
confused with Ben and Zach.
Forget those guys.
Alright, anyways, without further ado, let's dive straight into it. T, should we start with last week's records?
Yes.
Because I know you were very kind of subtle about not wanting to disclose how the records ended up.
Yeah,
There's
so
one game difference.
yeah, I mean, first week obviously, first week jitters. I would say picking teams. So I was picking teams this week, right? To kind of forewarn like how I picked. I was like, week one, you're always like, well, I don't know how this team's gonna perform. I think there's like 16 teams that have new quarterbacks. So you're like, well, I don't know how the hell they're gonna do. I don't know how good their I know. I don't know how good their defense is. I don't know how good their offense is. So week one, it's always like hit or miss, and essentially that's how me and Austin picked it last week. Austin went 8-7, and I went 7-8. So kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
So as a week one, I'm a little disappointed I went under 500, but I'm not surprised.
Honestly, I would have picked that you beat me by one game because I remember I picked the Jets, I picked the Browns. I remember having some outrageous takes over week one, but if we're talking about outrageous takes, we know Tyler is the king of those, so.
Yeah, I lost on the we both lost on the Packers one. We got destroyed on the Packers.
Us and all of Wisconsin lost on the Packers game.
Yeah, there was a lot of, we had different ones, and like I picked the Raiders. They ended up beating the Ravens. So, but I mean, without further ado, we might as well hop right into week two. The first matchup we got we'll do the 1 o'clock games first. Mm-hmm. Patriots versus the Jets. We'll let Biggie start. I mean, let our guest start.
I definitely think the Patriots are going to take it. Jets, I don't know about Zach Wilson, man. He looked pretty bad last week, I'd say.
Yeah.
Mac Jones looked solid. Bill Belichick, got to go with the Pats.
Got to go with the Pats. I'm gonna agree with you on that. I just think Pats lost last week, right?
Yeah, by 1 to the Dolphins.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're going to come out. Bill Belichick owns the Jets pretty much ever since he left back in 2000, didn't he?
I think it's still something like he's undefeated against rookie QBs too, Belichick. Man. So it's over for rookie QBs with them.
I don't think it's going to be like a slaughter, but I think it's going to be Pats by like 10.
No, I think it's going to be a slaughter.
Are you going shit-pumping game of the week?
Not quite shit-pumping, but not only did the Jets ruin one of my parlays I had last weekend, I think, what did you say, Brennan? You're not huge on Zach Wilson yet. I mean, he's still got a lot to prove. Obviously, the Jets are going to Jets. Jets, and the S stands for suck because the Jets fucking suck. I'm sorry, Brian. All the New York Jets fans back home, this is not your year. I mean, we saw the Browns go from the dumpster
rags to riches,
and now they're one of the top teams in the AFC. I think the Jets have at least another decade until they can do that.
Another decade, huh?
They're cursed. I feel like ever since Belichick was named their head coach, and then he said, "Wait." The Jets.
I mean, the last time they were good was probably 2011 when Bart Scott, had that famous interview after the game. I mean, that was
Sanchez.
Yeah, I mean,
they made it to the
they were
AFC.
decent. They had a good defense. They had Darrelle Revis, Bart Scott. I mean, they had some guys, but the last time they were really, really good, Chad Pennington, Curtis Martin, that era.
Yeah.
But
Tyler, what do you always tell me though?
What?
Not to live in the past.
Not to live in the past. Always be in the present.
In the present, the Jets fucking suck.
The Jets are god awful. It was bad because, when Corey Davis is like leading a team in touchdowns, that team can't be that great. I don't care how good Corey Davis is. I don't think he's
Yeah.
like a great tight end by no means, or a great wide receiver by no means. But
Yeah.
the Jets are bad.
I mean, the Jets are the Orlando Magic, as you like to say, of the NFL.
I
feel
would.
like that's where just
That's an
players
insult.
go.
That would definitely be an
Players
accurate.
go
That
to
would
die.
definitely be an accurate representation of NFL to NBA.
Well, they got the new coach in there this season. I don't think quite decade. Give him like 3-5 years.
I don't think
not
Zach
bold.
Wilson's the answer.
Robert
though.
Saleh.
Oh,
Is that how you say
Saleh,
it?
yeah.
Saleh, right?
I like
Yeah,
Saleh. I do.
Saleh, yeah.
I think
I
he'll
j-
get that culture turned around.
I just don't think Zach Wilson is the answer. I think if
yeah,
they
I
went,
wasn't high on him in the draft.
I thought Zach Wilson was a second, third round quarterback
Mhm.
in the draft, not a first rounder, second pick. That
Is that
was
BYU, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't know about that.
Anyways,
It's
next
like
game.
USC quarterbacks. That didn't work out for them either.
It's kind of like USC.
I mean, Darnold didn't look terrible in his first game for the Panthers.
It's like
I don't think
Ohio State
Darnold's terrible.
quarterbacks.
It's just one of those, like you said, it's where, I mean, he went there as a rookie, so his career wasn't going to die, but certainly didn't succeed. And I think he'll look better for Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
a lot
also
more
has more
weapons,
options.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Jets organization as a whole, also just to point on this, is like filled with negativity. Not only do you have the fans, the history of
Yeah.
them. It's just they've only won one championship back in '67. They always say, or '69 with Joe Namath, and they're like,
Broadway Joe.
Yeah,
Broadway
they're
Joe.
just-
Fur coats.
that's all that they talk
Yeah.
about. It's like there's so much negativity around there that you could
Yeah.
literally put Tom Brady there, and they would still find a way to suck.
That New York media is tough.
Yeah. Anyways, next game, we all went with Patriots over Jets. Next game, Broncos versus Jaguars. I'll go first. I'm going Broncos. Regardless of if they have Jerry Jeudy, regardless if they have half their offense, I still think they're going to beat the Jaguars. I do think Jaguars did show glimpses of hope against the Texans, but just their performance in general I thought was kind of piss poor. It took Trevor Lawrence a little bit to get started, but
Yeah.
I think the Broncos are just a lot stronger offensively and definitely defensively against the Jaguars.
No, I mean, I think Teddy Bridgewater definitely gives them a boost, and I don't know if you guys saw the clip on the sidelines where Von Miller was, kind of giving him a pat on the back. He's like, hey, man, this is the best kind of leadership we've had in the locker room from the quarterback position since Peyton was here. I mean, as far as compliments go,
That's
that's
saying
got
a
to
lot.
be pretty high up there. Bad loss last week against the Texans. It was almost like a trap game. I feel like, walking into that week one, you get a new quarterback who's proven himself in years prior. You go up against the Texans, who are starting, a guy they brought in the offseason, new playbook. They don't know who's playing running back. They had 3 guys splitting carries. So that was kind of, I don't know, almost like an anomaly game in my opinion. I think the Broncos come out here and, they show that they're definitely a team to be reckoned with in the AFC West.
By the way, last week the Jaguars absolutely put my shit-pumping games of the week 6 feet deep. That was the end of the shit-pumping games. We will no longer be doing any shit-pumping games.
Wait, who said, hold on.
You picked the Jags
I
to
picked-
shit pump the
I
Texans.
picked the Jags
Who
to
just said
shit-pump the
they
Texans.
lost to the Texans?
Well, you were talking about the Jags losing to the Texans. You
No,
said
we were just talking about the Broncos. And someone said they lost to the Texans. They did lose, but who'd they play?
The
the Broncos won
won.
last week.
Oh.
Jags lost to the
Yeah.
Texans.
You guys got me out.
All the-
Well,
Yeah,
you said that, and
all
I
the-
thought you were saying Broncos lost, but I then was like, oh, he's
All
talking
the
about
teams in the
Jags.
West are 1-0. So if NFC, AFC West are all 1-0.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, last week Jaguars. I wouldn't think a team from Florida would do this to me, but they put the shit pumping games of the week for me this season right down the drain. Austin's 1-0 in shit pumping games, so I wouldn't call it a shit pumping game that he won, but we'll get to that. But Jaguars, I could say you get shit pumped this week, but I'm not gonna because I'm not allowed anymore.
I mean,
I think it's going to be pretty ugly for the Jags. I'm definitely taking Broncos. That defense is just too good. Vic Fangio, one of the best defensive minds in the game. Trevor Lawrence looked shaky, had a couple good throws, but
Also, Trevor Lawrence's first loss since ever, I think.
it's like his
High school
first
or
time he was ever down and had to try to come back other than that championship game they lost.
welcome to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence has a good career, but not in Jacksonville.
And you said that last week when we were watching the game.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same thing with the Jets, it's just not the place to succeed.
It's like tainted, but I
Urban
feel,
Meyer, that dude's going to
Is
be
Urban
gone.
Meyer on the hot seat right now? I mean, something just
No.
came out where they didn't allow or notify the offensive coordinator about media day. Did you guys see that?
I
didn't see that, but I heard players already don't like him. The locker room's not going good because he got wicked pissed at a preseason loss because he's just used to that college mindset where if you lose one game, your season's out the window, which isn't the
Right.
case in the NFL. You have now 17 weeks 16 more to correct it. And, I just heard he doesn't quite have the locker room.
This might be a wild take, and I'm known for that, but if you put a halfway decent offensive line in front of Trevor Lawrence in this offense, I think they could average about 30 points a game. And I don't think that's, too wild. You have James Robinson, DJ Chark, Marvin Jones, a vet wide receiver. They have all the pieces, there. They have another wide receiver that's pretty good, too. But
Laviska,
yes. Yeah, Laviska Shenault, he's a great up-and-coming wide receiver. I mean, they have all the pieces on offense. They have the quarterback. They just have no offensive line. So if they go out and get offensive line this offseason, I think the Jaguars could be a tough competitor in the AFC South.
Yeah, they got weapons. Plus,
they have Josh Allen on defense, too.
Travis Etienne went down.
Josh Allen, the linebacker.
The linebacker,
Josh Allen, he got a few sacks last week, a few tackles for losses. I mean, it's not like they're any joke of a team. They don't have peace. They traded everybody. Yannick Ngakoue to the Raiders, or technically to the Vikings. They got rid of Jalen Ramsey. I mean, they've had good players. Blake Bortles, Hall of Famer.
The boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised they let go Gardner. I thought they were going to keep him for sure.
Yeah, I don't get that whole dynamic. Obviously, taking someone first overall, you're fully committed at that point. But, I don't know. I feel like, especially with that team, and we're talking about bad players around them, kind of tough situation to succeed in. I thought they almost, let Minshew go in there, take some of the early season heat,
Right.
and maybe switch it up with Trevor Lawrence once they kind of get a better, chemistry going in the locker room.
Speaking of Minshew, might as well hop over to the Eagles.
Hop over, baby.
Yeah, seamless fucking transition right there, by the way. Eagles versus the Niners this week. I'm actually going with, I think, a slight of an upset. I'm going to go with the Eagles at home against the Niners. Jalen Hurts coming off of a huge game against the Falcons. I think their defense is there. Their offense is, flocking to the ball around Jalen Hurts. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this Eagles team. They're actually fun to watch. So I'm gonna go Eagles over the Niners in a tight game.
Yeah, I think the Eagles looked good last week for sure. Jalen Hurts definitely. A lot of people were down on him this offseason, saying he just wasn't good. I was a big fan of him in college, and it just seems like people have hated on him since Alabama days. And then he went to having a brain fart. Where'd he go from Alabama?
Oklahoma,
and he killed it in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles wound up having a good season.
I knew he was going to be good when he squatted 600 pounds.
That was incredible. That guy could squat me. That's crazy.
It reminds me back in the day. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but when Larry could squat a shit ton in high school, and Linda, my mom, was like, "Oh, Larry, you should come over and squat a pony." A pony weighs 600 pounds, however much he squatted. Every time I talk to Larry, he's like, "Oh."
If you squatted a pony and you got that on camera, that might be one of the most viral videos.
It's a classic Linda line too.
Yeah.
Don't expect anything else.
No.
But I'm picking the 49ers. I just think defense is healthy again. Kyle Shanahan, good coach. You can put anybody in there in the backfield. They're going to run for 100 yards in his system. I think Niners are solid this year.
Who do you got?
All right. I got the motherfucking... That's a motherfucking fly, Eagles fly, baby. Jalen Hurts, we're talking about. You know the vibes. He's a straight-up winner. He's a certified killer. And I just think it's going to be too much. Yes, the Niners' defense is healthy again. But until they're fully committed to Trey Lance, that's got to be tough to play. It's like all the guys in this locker room, they're like, who are we getting this week?
Yeah.
Are we getting Garoppolo, who we know hasn't really proven himself? Or are we going to get at least a chance with this rookie quarterback who showed, glimpses of promise? So I think there's a lot of uncertainty going on in San Francisco right now. The Eagles, they're looking good. Skill guys, they're looking great. Rager, who people said was like a bust of a draft pick, he's kind of coming to his own. Devonta Smith scored in his first ever NFL game.
It was his first catch too.
First catch ever.
And it's actually the same place where he caught the national championship catch too, in Atlanta.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Fun stat. Back to what you were saying about Trey Lance. You said Eagles, right?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
picking. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's picking Eagles.
I know he said he did the whole
Cut me off. for a
fucking
second.
Birdman
I
over
lost
here.
my train of thought.
Trey Lance. They said today
Mhm.
Trey Lance is fine with the backup role. They actually used
Well,
Trey.
what's he gonna say? No,
Yeah.
I'm fucking not playing.
I guess
Start
what-
me or
what I'm
I'd
saying
rather
is-
go work a 9 to 5.
Trey Lance was being used as a practice squad as Jalen Hurts this week because he's a similar build to him and he's
Right.
a similar quarterback to him. And they're going with Garoppolo, and they're fine with, Trey Lance is fine with being that guy that comes in and runs, a few plays here and there. They're not trying to, give him the whole ship yet because they got Garoppolo.
Mhm.
He had a touchdown pass last week, right? Trey Lance.
I think it was like one of his first passes,
I think it was,
too.
yeah. They brought him in
Um,
like that first drive. He threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, but he's not Taysom Hill. He doesn't come in for like red zone packages. They drafted him to be the quarterback of the future.
Right.
So stop dangling, the fucking carrot
But
in
why
front of the
not?
horse's face.
Why not dangle it? Maybe that will make him want it more.
I mean, they're not the only franchise doing that right now, and I agree with that too. They say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you got none. You gotta pick one. But it seemed to work for them last week. They won, right?
But,
Right. Barely.
well, barely to a Detroit Lions team and Jared Goff that
Jared
was supposed
Goff.
to go 0-6 or 17 now, right?
Well,
Still might,
Still
but
could.
they
I
put
don't know.
a hell of a comeback.
I
got it.
expect Jared Goff to throw the ball like 50 times every game.
He might this week and
He
pull
might
out
be
a
a
W.
low-key fantasy guy.
I just
He
picked
had-
him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was I think he was actually number 1 last week.
Yeah, because they played 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah, they were against the
By
49ers
the
1
time
o'clock,
all the
yeah.
games went through, I think he's number 4 right now.
You're right. He was number 4.
Yeah.
If you ain't first, you're last.
But either way, I think the Eagles are a stronger team. So you got the Eagles with me.
Yes, sir.
You
All
guys
right.
like that new coach? What's his name? Nick something?
Honestly, I have no
Eagles?
fucking idea.
I don't know.
Some no-name dude.
It's clearly no need.
Yeah.
Speaking of the
Siciliano
Lions,
or
Wanna
something
know?
like that?
speaking of the Lions, I really love their coach, Campbell. Dan Campbell, dude's electric.
Guy's crazy.
Guy fucking streamlines caffeine through his veins. Like he's on a catheter.
Did you hear about that? How much caffeine
he
he drinks?
like 2 venti.
That's
yeah,
before like
large,
8 a.m.,
large
right?
Starbucks with like 2 espresso shots in each before like 8 a.m.
I mean,
That's
dude,
absolutely insane.
he's watching all the Coach O from LSU. You know how he likes his energy drinks. He's watching all his press conferences. He's like, hold my fucking venti coffee. He's shotgunning to him
Yeah.
before.
You ever
8
seen Attack on
It's
Mars
insane.
where the aliens' heads explode? You know, when they play music from Earth. Well, if I did that before 8 a.m., my fucking heart would explode in my chest.
Be looking like Looney Tunes. It was like Bugs Bunny or something
Yeah.
in the cartoon. It was like, ooh.
Yeah. I'd
My
die
heart
on the
would be
toilet
bigger
like
than my head.
Elvis.
Rest in peace, Elvis. Man. Come on.
Wait, wouldn't it be the opposite? Doesn't coffee help you shit? And
That's why
No,
he's gonna be on the toilet.
I'd be
and his
on the-
heart's
yeah.
gonna
I
explode.
yeah,
just
but
die, man.
Elvis couldn't
That's
shit.
way too much caffeine. Yeah, but it was a joke.
A bad one.
I wouldn't drink that much caffeine, so don't
Scientifically, a bad joke.
worry. Yeah.
It was a
well,
good one, but a bad one.
Dying on the toilet. Sorry to
Sounds
get on
awful.
a tangent here, but dying on the toilet is like low key like a super chill move because like you know how you excrete your bowels when you die, so it's like no one has to clean up after you.
Honestly, dude,
All you have to do
that's
is
great.
flush it.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's really good,
Right?
man. It
From
makes
the
it a lot
cop.
easier for,
No
for anybody who has to, whoever finds you or whatever, or they take the body out, it makes it a lot easier,
Would
dude.
you use toilet paper or wet wipes?
Well, I think you just put the body bag down. You pick them up, you set them down, and then you flush the toilet.
You got some
Maybe
dingleberries.
maybe spray a few Febrezes in the air.
You gotta get the dude wipes out.
Dude, what?
fucking bat his whole body with it. The guy that's cutting into him is like, wow, he smells pretty good.
The best smelling dead body I've ever smelled. Alright, let's move on. Sports podcast here.
I brought
Sports
it there.
podcast.
I brought it there. It was really back in.
All right, next one, Bills versus Dolphins, AFC East matchup. How about you start? You haven't started yet.
Thank you, Tyler. The man goddamn kicks it to your boy Yo Soy. Alley-oop, which we were supposed to get a goddamn
Logo.
new graphic Tom, what happened with that? Come on, I was all excited.
That's been like.
You had me taking pictures out here in a headband, like I was.
That was when you were
Did you really?
in Lake George. I
Oh,
think I
man.
still have the picture on my phone.
Yeah.
That was March.
Yeah, that was a while ago, half a year at least.
That's a long time for a new
Probably a
graphic.
little north of 8 months. Where are we?
Bills, Dolphins.
Bills, Dolphins.
I'm high on the Dolphins this year. I know the Bills are coming off a bad loss, but I think that's more so just a testament to how good the Steelers are. Kind of underrated. You know, I won't dive into the Steelers too
I wouldn't
much.
say
We're talking
underrated,
about the Bills. They're still prolific. They're still the same team that went to the semifinals in the AFC last year. You know, bad loss. Probably could have went to the AFC Championship game. I mean, they're easily top 3 in the AFC for me right now.
Who's this? The Bills?
Yeah, even though they lost to the Steelers, I'd still give them the edge over there. But the Browns and the Chiefs up there round out the top 3. That being said, Josh Allen, I mean, he's there, man. We were talking about he doesn't have enough experience, doesn't have enough weapons. This guy is a top-tier quarterback in the league right now. Stephon Diggs, he played last week, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got Beasley,
6 catches.
Dawson Knox. You got a decent 1-2 punch with Moss and Singletary. But above all else, that defense, man. In Buffalo, people, it's kind of underrated, you know, playing in Buffalo. This fans, the stadium gets rowdy. Obviously, come later into the season, it gets cold and it's tough conditions.
Right.
So, all that being said, I'm going Buffalo. Circle of wagons.
Brendan?
I'm going Bills as well. I think Dolphins, they looked solid last week, but I still think Tua has some stuff to work on. I think I saw something last year. Josh Allen had a bad first game too, and then bounced back. Had his
MVP
best
season,
year. Yeah, his
yeah.
best year yet. Love their coach. Defense is tough. I'm taking Bills.
I'm going to go with the Bills, and if I have to say anything about the Dolphins, it's that I think they are one of the weakest teams in the AFC East this year, and it's strictly because of Tua. I think he's a terrible quarterback. I don't like him whatsoever. I don't know what it is, whether he's the same height as me or if he's left-handed. I don't get it, but I just don't like the guy.
Yeah.
So I think the Bills actually destroy the Dolphins. It's not even close. So I'm going Bills as well.
I mean, that's a very vague opinion. Like, one of the worst teams in the AFC East. So you're pretty much saying it's them and the Jets. And
Right.
You're putting the Bills
and the Patriots above them.
I mean, come on.
They are one of the
Bold
worst
take,
teams.
Captain.
Raider could have had that take. I mean,
Bold
take. Okay, but the Dolphins also went to the AFC wildcard last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too high on Tua either. I mean, I think he'll pan out to be a solid quarterback. I think it just looks weird because he's a lefty. There's just not many.
I don't
of
think
them.
it's because he's a lefty. He's so
It just looks
inconsistent.
weird. Yeah.
The guy is like, he hasn't had a good NFL game either. Maybe he has and I haven't seen it, but I feel like this guy comes in here just to be mediocre. And they add Jalen Waddle this offseason, who scored a touchdown last week. They have Gesicki, former Penn State great. They have Myles Gaskin out of the
He
backfield.
had 0 catches last week.
Yeah, which is
exactly.
baffling to me that you don't get one of your best wide receivers from last year.
Yeah,
the
he's
ball.
like they're one of their best options.
He is
Yeah,
he is their best option.
Yeah.
Last year he was number one. And they have Devontae Parker, who they don't use. They have all these guys that are
He was hurt last week.
Right.
He's coming back.
But even when he's in
Will Fuller?
is out this week.
Yeah, but he's coming back, honey.
He's out this week.
We're talking about weapons.
I know, but
Is
I think they got some- I think they got
regardless of Devontae playing last week or not, they still don't use him enough. I mean, I don't think Tua is the answer. He's not a good quarterback for whatever system they're running with Brian Flores in Miami.
Honestly, I think they're just you got to wait on Tua a little
if
bit.
you inserted Deshaun Watson into the Dolphins, they'd be the best team in the AFC.
well, that guy's like top 3 quarterback.
I know. I'm just saying
You can insert him anywhere.
if they traded 3 of their first round draft picks in whatever year and 2 second rounds, I would do it because I would want to get rid of Tua.
Yeah,
The guy's
I mean,
not
I'm not
good.
that low on Tua. You got to remember the
he's
guy's
a college
still.
phenom. That's
I mean,
all he
he
is.
he
He's
had
just
what?
like Tim Tebow.
He came in like halfway
Prove me
through the
wrong.
season last year,
Yeah, he
week
came off
6 or
a
something. That
very
guy's coming off of a.
severe injury.
Yeah, you still got to give him some time. I mean, I don't think he's looked like dog crap, but he hasn't looked. When you're comparing young quarterbacks, elite, like some of the others. But I think you got to give him some more time. I like
This is
Brian
a wild
Flores as a
take.
coach.
This is a wild
He's
take,
got
and
some
I'll
weapons.
die on this hill. I will take Taylor Heineke over Tua.
You can stay on that hill.
I will die on that hill because I think Taylor Heineke is a fucking
Heineke's
gunslinger.
got grit. I'll give you that, but
Give me grit over.
I'll take
give me grit.
7 days a week over
You're
Tyler Heine.
stupid, and I'll win more games than you. Enjoy.
I don't know, man.
Enjoy
I don't know.
your out of your playoff while I'm in the wild card with Taylor Heineke.
I will say
Losing to the
Tyler
Super Bowl
Heineke didn't get them to the playoffs, and he lost that playoff.
He almost won them against the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, well, almost doesn't count.
Yeah, almost only
I
counts
will
as
say,
shoes and hard grades.
Fitzpatrick getting hurt is the best thing that could have happened to the football team. I think Heineke is
agree.
a good enough quarterback. You know, he's like a Sanchez, a Joe Flacco type guy with good players around.
He's like a
him.
Minshew to me.
That's an insult, Sanchez.
Yeah, he's like a Minshew, like a
No,
guy
I
that's a
wouldn't-
flash in a pan.
I think he's good enough with a good, solid team around him to take a team, you know, into the
Okay,
playoffs.
you're not saying like playing style. You're just saying.
Oh no! I'm just
Okay,
saying
I
like,
got
he
you.
could be that.
He could be a Tony
Guy.
Romo.
You
to
get
do
weapons
just
around
enough.
him, and yeah,
He
gotcha.
could be a Tony Romo.
I mean, yeah, you're right. They got a solid
Tannehill.
defense.
Yeah, Tannehill's an
Good
even better
defense.
one.
Yeah.
No, the Washington
I
football
will
team has a
say,
great defense.
I went on the record. I chose Washington for last night, and I would have bet a lot of money on them if I could have done
Who
it.
would you choose it with?
Well, I told
To
I told my
Matt.
dad all day. Ask
Matt and
Maddie.
Brody.
Ask Maddie. He'll tell you. I said hammer Washington all day. All I saw was Daniel Jones 4-0 against Washington since he's been Giants QB. Had the backup QB for Washington. I knew they were going to win. Anybody that hammered the money line, they were living good today. And that should have been me.
I mean, you should be writing a thank you letter to not only Scary Terry, but also the New York Giants defensive line.
Yeah, I
for
was just going to
jumping off
say,
the
that's who I
fence.
should be thanking. Yeah.
Dexter
No,
Lawrence.
Yeah. That's
Dear
the guy.
Dexter.
Giants lost the game. I don't know if Taylor Heine won the game.
I mean, Taylor Heineke played a huge role, but I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Woke up and Scary Terry had 30 points against my fantasy team, and that was not
He
cool.
had 30 points for my fantasy team, so
Yeah.
that was very cool. But Saquon Barkley had 6. Very not cool.
Yeah, Saquon.
Not so.
I don't know
chill.
what's going on. I mean, I know their offensive line. Plus, they had a couple guys go down. They had their starting center, I believe it was, who was voted a captain. He went down last night.
Yep.
So
And he
I
had
don't
to
know
get
if it's
carted
just
off,
the.
so that's not even a
didn't
joke.
look good.
I think the brightest thing in Saquon Barkley's life right now is releasing a shoe October 8th or October 3rd.
Shoes
so
are dope.
not really playing a part of the New York Football Giants.
Have you seen them?
I don't think so.
You haven't
They're
seen
pretty
them?
cool.
No.
They're fucking.
They're
dope.
redoing those. What are they called?
They're the Nike trainers.
Trainers, yeah, like
Yeah,
the Bo,
and-
the
Bo,
Metcon.
No, they're
the
the-
Bo Jackson, yeah.
But they're the Nike Air Trainer 3s.
Mm.
So they're like his own personal shoe. They're these like pastel colors, excuse me. Pastel like
Just show
Indian
them.
doctor. I'm trying to get to them.
We'll stop trying and start doing.
Well,
they,
with my phone
they
one.
take the Bo Jacksons and they move the Nike sign. Oh, yeah, that's like those training shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could rock
the
those,
trainers, yeah.
I mean, they're cool. I like the.
I'd rock the fuck out of these.
I like them a lot.
And
I
I've
like
heard
the
the Nike.
aesthetics of them. I don't like that strap. I mean,
Well, I mean,
that's what I said. I
you got the
like
26
I like
on the
those straps.
tongue.
yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, if I did CrossFit, those were 100p no CB my shoes.
I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna use a $150 Foot Locker gift card on this.
Did you get your pick in for that? Are we moving on?
Where
Where were we? Dolphins, Bills?
Everybody picked the Bills. Everybody circled the wagon.
Yeah.
we were talking about fucking Heine.
Well, speaking of LA,
Yeah.
where
Hot
Austin's
sign
from, seamless
Cali
transition.
boy, he eats a lot of avocado.
We got the Rams versus the Colts, who the Colts just announced this week that they will be on Hard Knocks live in season.
What do you guys think?
Incredible.
I actually love that idea.
I enjoyed this not previous, but this recent Hard Knocks with the
Really,
Cowboys.
because a lot of people said they hated
A
it.
lot of people said they hated it.
What's
I mean, it's just yeah. I mean, it wasn't anything really different. I wouldn't say it was the best one ever, but I thought it was cool. I mean, that coming back, that drone footage going through the training facility.
Can we not?
Awesome.
Can we all agree that the best Hard Knocks season was with the Raiders? Knock on your wood if you're with
I
me.
don't remember that.
It's like 2 years.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember that. Well, yeah, John
That
Gruden,
was
guy's
good.
electric.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
I sat next to him in a restaurant one time.
What was last year? Rams, Chargers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I enjoy Hard Knocks. I think it's going to be really cool.
Live in
Carson
season,
Wentz.
I think the biggest thing is like, we don't have to worry about cutting players. Now you're gonna see like injuries throughout the season, guys stepping up to the plate. losses, how big of a toll it takes on the standings in the AFC South. I mean, it's going to, and Carson Wentz being a new quarterback in the Colts system.
Right, you got some new names over there.
You know, Irsay, if they add him in there, that's going to be electric too. A former drunk dude. I mean,
former drunk dude. We could label all of us as that.
Former drunk dude.
Current owner, former drunk.
I think it's a big W for the, just the idea of it, doing an in-season Hard Knocks. But I think it's a big L for the team they chose. I mean,
it's like the Madden curse.
Not even that. I thought the stipulation for Hard Knocks was you had to be under 500 last season, right? I mean,
I've never heard that.
They want like struggling or up and coming teams. That was.
I thought it was the most like I think that's what they started with, but then they changed it to like the most like
just headlines.
Yeah, most headlines and like team that's
like
gonna
Dallas,
cause the most like attention.
Why have the Packers never been on there?
Because they're the Packers.
Would this not have been the best season to do with Aaron Rodgers?
Right,
okay.
but they choose.
Oh, you're saying
choose.
live.
I
thought you meant like off season.
No, off season.
Off season? I would I'd rather do the Packers after week 1. Now?
Anyway,
holy shit.
Anyways,
well, no, I get what you're saying because of the whole Aaron Rodgers thing.
No, yeah, I mean
But I think they
started back in January.
I think they picked though, like they already had announced they were doing the Cowboys before, right? Because don't they announce pretty early who they're doing?
Yeah.
Anyways,
otherwise they probably would have went with the Packers.
Who do you care to see behind the scenes on the Colts? Carson Wentz, T.Y. Hilton. I mean,
Carson Wentz is
I don't care
literally
about
the only.
T.Y.
There's no
Hilton.
star. There's no, Hollywood personality that
defense,
I'm interested in.
What's that line?
Here's what
Leonard.
I think happened.
Like Zeke was great.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously the Prescott thing coming back off that injury that made sense.
CD Lamb.
Raider, how you doing, honey? Walking through the corridors.
Plus the rookie linebacker.
Scary movie or a spy movie. Yeah.
But Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Amari. I mean, they got a lot of big names on that team.
I think the reason why they did it with the Colts is the opposite of what you think.
Well, I think not. Well, you said Carson.
What I'm saying is,
you said Carson Wentz, but I think it's more so Frank Wright and Carson Wentz, just because that's like, you know what I mean? Frank Wright was his coach in Philly when they won the Super Bowl, and that's a headline in itself right now.
What I mean by that is that the Colts probably accepted it, or Hard Knocks was like, hey, we want to use you because we want to test this out. It's the first season that they're doing it.
Right. Teams
don't trust usually the media in their locker room and stuff like that. So
I would have rather seen the Bears. That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Justin Fields versus Andy Dalton.
Bias Brendan over here.
It's not my favorite team right now.
I'd rather see the Raiders after beating the Ravens. I mean, obviously. I mean, but granted,
if you're talking like
the biggest,
dilemma,
the biggest thing around this is it's cool that we're doing in season now.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that
cool
idea
regardless. Maybe not the best team. We'll find out.
It's season 1.
I think it's going to be cool either.
It can only go up from here.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't think it lasts long. I think there's going to be a bunch of turmoil. Obviously.
Get the camera.
That was my next
face.
question. You think it's a distraction?
Oh, 100%.
Yes, 1,000%.
Colts go.
I mean, there's going to be people.
Colts go under 500 this year because of it.
Potentially. I mean, I could see that. I could see them definitely underperforming as a result of being on the Hard Knocks.
I think they're not going to be that good because of Carson Wentz.
Let's speak it into existence then. Rams versus Colts. Week 1 of
Rams.
I mean, Rams blew out my Bears. 100%. For as bad as the Bears looked, I think more credit goes to the Rams than, you can say the Bears look bad. Rams looked really good. I think Matt Stafford's going to be great in that offense.
And that's exactly what I was going to say.
Their defense was, top-notch last year.
Whoever the GM for the Rams is deserves a raise because bringing Matthew Stafford in was such an easy move and so smart at the same time. I think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, personally. Austin doesn't agree with me.
If he gets a Super Bowl this year, I think he gets.
I don't think a Super Bowl, reciprocates, Hall of Fame. Like you don't need it. The stats back it up. That's what a Hall of Famer is. Someone that has the stats and whatnot.
It's like somebody who they say if you talk about the NFL, you have to mention this person, and that's kind of where they go with the Hall of Fame. I don't know if Matt Stafford's quite in that conversation.
I would put Matthew Stafford in the Hall of Fame, no problem. And last week proved it. For the Rams, personally.
He looked good.
He looked great.
Bears looked really bad.
This is what happens when you put a good quarterback, or a great quarterback, I should say, with a great wide receiver core.
That receiver core is really good.
It's nasty.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp looked good. Robert Woods, he had a few catches, right? Not many, though. He didn't
you
have
got
a huge
Robert
game,
Woods,
but
Higbee.
Van Jefferson looked
Van
really
Jefferson
good.
was his favorite target.
Sean McVay was really high on that dude last year. He was a rookie, and second year coming in, dude blew up that first game. I think he's going to be a solid piece of that offense this year. I drafted him in my fantasy, dropped him because he was hurt, and then I just re-added him this week.
Who's this?
Van Jefferson.
It's a solid fantasy pickup
Yeah.
this week because it's looking like one of Matthew Stafford's cover or blanket targets. But I do think that's going to be Colts in the first quarter, defensively, because they have a strong defense. But then after that, it's going to be the Rams game.
Did we see Sony Michel at all in that game? We didn't, right? Did he get any
I
touches?
didn't even watch the game.
No?
If I'm being honest with you,
Didn't want to watch the Bears get beat up on?
I was a little drunk,
A
Also,
little sad.
even more sad about the Packers. I went to the pool and drowned my sorrows, quite literally.
You guys see our new mascot? Is he on the screen?
Yes, he is.
We got
No
in
Look
here.
Podcast mascot. Tyler, do you want to tell him the name?
We got the No Look Podcast mascot here. Raider the Rottweiler, everyone. Welcome to the show, his first show.
What was his name you were saying earlier?
What? My good boy?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking
you
of.
see these paws, man? He's gonna be a big dog. We're gonna clip this.
Might as well call him Raider Diesel Hayes.
His middle name is Jameson.
Oh.
Yeah.
After the liquor?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Raider Jameson Hayes.
I thought it was
beautiful
thought it was
Rottweiler,
Jameis.
purebred. His dad was 125 pounds. I expect nothing less than that, Raider. You hear me?
You're gonna
He's
be
a
a
big
brute.
boy.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a brute.
He's almost as big as Brennan when he came out the womb.
Yeah.
That's
Set the record
your
for New
20
York
seconds of
heavyweight.
fame, Raider.
Now don't touch those wires.
Don't touch the wires, Raider.
All right. We're
Next
moving
game.
on. Wait. So you
Speaking of Raider,
did everybody pick their Rams?
I picked Rams.
Speaking of
Rams.
Raider, by the way, the dog. We got the Raiders versus the Steelers next.
It's a big game.
I want to go last because I already know how it's going to swing this way.
Yeah. So I mean, Steelers defense, they are just a good squad, and I don't know, Derek Carr, he has his games. Last one was one of those games. I don't think he looks so good against the Steelers. I got the Steelers winning by a good amount.
There's a lot of wires over here.
A lot of wires over here, and Raider, the dog, likes to walk through them.
He's training for the American Ninja Warrior course. the doggy edition.
So, yeah, I think Steelers win. I think Big Ben puts up some points. I don't think Raiders can keep up.
Sick. Good boy.
John Gruden, What is good with, what's the Raiders owner's name again? I always forget.
Mark Davis?
Mark Davis. Can somebody help that guy out with his hair? That bowl cut, right? Every time they show him, I'm like, is this guy?
Fashion, bro.
No, it never has been and never will be.
The funny thing is,
The guy
Mark
looks
Davis,
like a 12-year-old sitting over there. Like he should have a lollipop in his mouth.
He looks like
The guy
kid
looks
that I made
stupid.
The Photoshop with when you guys were joking about my hair. The school
The blonde,
photo. I know
yeah, the
what
school
you're
photo.
talking
Yeah, exactly.
I could probably
Every time
pull
they
that up
show
in a
him,
second.
I'm just like, somebody needs to help this guy out. Does he look in a mirror? He's about to build a $14 million house. I hope he's putting a mirror in there because the guy looks dumb. But Steelers win.
Yeah. Did I say my pick yet?
Nope.
No. My pick. Drum roll, please. No. I mean, it's no surprise. The Steelers. I just said.
yes, that's Mark Davis
You don't
right
need to
there.
pull up the one with me in it. I thought you were just showing.
Yes, that's it. Oh
They're just
man,
showing
that's
up.
funny. That's very funny.
Like I said, Steelers, they're underrated. They got a crazy amount of weapons. We haven't even seen, close to what Najee Harris can do. They got Deontay Johnson, who, did he go out with an injury? Maybe. Claypool, still got Juju. They got Ebron. I mean, the defense, I don't even need to say names. Living up to the nickname of the Steel Curtain. And, also Big Ben. Looks like his off-season diet and workout regimen is doing him pretty well because he's
looking thin.
real good. Yeah, he looks
He's
slim.
looking thin.
Yeah, but then
Thinks
doesn't
that'll
win you
help him.
football games.
Slim Ben.
And
Well,
just
yeah.
like Raider being bored by what Austin said, me and Raider, we spoke, earlier today. We discussed on the No Look podcast his debut. We went over picks. We agreed on all of these, by the way. So this is Raider and Tyler's picks. Me and Raider are going with the Raiders in this one in an upset against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Electric coming off of the win against the Ravens. Josh Schmakeups. We don't need him. We got Kenyon Drake out of the backfield this week. Darren Waller, the best tight end in the league. Don't at me. He's the best tight end in the league. His stats prove it. Our defense is a lot stronger than everybody thinks. We got Max Crosby coming at your quarterback, smashing his face mask into the ground and calling him a freckled skin loser, basically.
Is that something you said before?
I don't know, maybe. He is a redhead, so I guess he could say it.
That guy
Big Ben,
he's insane.
I don't care how thin Big Ben is, he's not good whatsoever. Their offense is lacking. Najee Harris, I don't think actually will do as good as you guys think. And I think their defense is really the only thing that really keeps them into the game whatsoever. I'm going Raiders over the Steelers. This is my upset of the week. I'll take it.
Not biased.
Surprise.
I think Najee Harris is a solid running back, but he doesn't have any other help in there, right? Who's their backup?
What did he do?
Unplugged it.
He unplugged the camera?
He was licking it.
Can you
Are we
take him?
still good?
I mean, we're still alive. They can hear us.
Okay. Yeah, I think Najee Harris is going to be a solid running back, but like last year, I think, you saying Big Ben being healthy isn't going to help. I think, they went, 12-0, 13-0 last year, and then lost like 4 in a row. I think that, slimming down will help them in the long run, the longevity of, staying consistent. Who else do they have in that backfield? Najee Harris, and then who?
Benny Snell.
Oh, yeah. Benny Snell. That's not great. But, I mean, that's what killed them last year. Their running game became non-existent towards the end of the year.
I do think
Najee
Najee Harris is better than James Conner. I do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They also lost.
They need some more help, too.
They also lost a lot of offensive linemen.
Yeah, that offensive line is
So-
in
Make a
shambles.
bet on this game?
I'm broke. Too broke to bet on this game.
I don't bet my favorite
Steaks,
teams.
not
What steaks?
monetary.
Like fucking actual 18-ounce sirloins or
Yeah,
something?
sirloins, T-bone, whatever you want.
Bitch. No.
Wagyu. I'll buy it from Sam's Club. The Wagyu cubes.
He doesn't go to Costco.
Got little sliders for like $10 a pop. No, but what can we decide? I mean, nothing too crazy.
I mean, I'm betting the Raiders in this game by far.
If the
so.
Steelers win,
Don't tell me to shave my head. Cause
you gotta do a belly flop. We'll do a solid belly flop
Okay.
in the pool.
Okay. Deal. I like that.
Give this guy 3 White Claws. He's not even feeling it.
3. You're
I'm
giving me
jumping
that
on-
many?
I'm getting on Mark O'Connor's shoulders and I'm fucking swan diving.
What do you mean? We'll do it fucking. We'll do it
He
right
does.
Yeah, we
after
can
the
do it
Sunday.
game.
this weekend. Yeah, true. I'll get on.
Well, what's that,
Yeah.
1 o'clock game?
I don't know.
It's a 4. Actually, it might be a 1 o'clock game because
Yeah.
it's in
Should
Pittsburgh.
we do a skinny dip into the pool?
Naked
All right.
mile.
Broad day, gotta do a naked lap in the pool.
Jeez. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right, Biggie's favorite team now. We'll go Bengals versus Bears. The Bees. I'll let you go last. I'll go first. I'm going with the. I'm not gonna say it's really even an upset. I'm gonna go with the Bengals over the Bears. I'm gonna say
That's
Joe
not an
Burrow.
upset. Bengals are giving them 3.5.
They are. Wow. I
Bears
think
are-
Joe Burrow torches the Bears defense this week. I just think that the Bears, they just don't do it for me in this game. I don't like this matchup against this fast-paced Bengals offense. I love Khalil Mack, I do. I'm just going to have to go with the Bengals, though.
It's gonna be all Bengals. It's gonna be all Joe Burrow. I mean, Brennan, I'd say I'm sorry, but you've seen this story before. The Bears. I don't even know what happened because they were such a defensive-minded and oriented team. I mean, other than Khalil Mack, who do they have? Your cornerbacks are looking hella suspect. I mean, they're getting passed on by
Our safeties, man,
whoever
it's so
wants
bad.
to.
Our defense got a lot worse this year. We lost Kyle Fuller to Denver.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they're not
our
even a
defensive
team
backs.
anymore.
No, they're really not. And everybody, I mean, obviously I listen to a lot of Bears stuff. But, yeah, the defense has got a lot worse. And it did not look good last week.
Yeah. I
And
don't
your
think there's
offense
anything
got
else.
worse, too.
Joe Burrow,
Andy
Jamar
Dolan,
Chase,
nice guy.
all Bengals.
Don't start him. We keep going.
No, I'm done. I was just saying Joe Burrow.
Also, I must say about the Bengals, Burrow and Jamar Chase are low-key very scary right
Electric.
Yeah,
Very
I can agree with
scary.
that.
Like, you know it's bad when you have, who's their other wide receiver? T. Higgins. You have
T.
a big
Higgins,
body
Tyler
like
Boyd.
T. Higgins. But yeah, but T. Higgins is like, he's big. Like, he's 6-something,
Well, they got a solid tight end,
200
too.
pounds. They have Tyler Croft last time I checked or something like that. Something like that. But
yeah.
T. Higgins is a big dude from Clemson. I mean, he was a first-round pick, last year.
Right.
But it is scary with Jamar Chase. I knew it was going to click like that, but it is scary.
They're just
Scoring your first touchdown in your first game, I think, is a great accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
The way he does it, though, he was fucking juking guys out of their
They're
shoes.
hunters. They go from the Tigers to the Bengals, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're predators.
Yeah.
They're killers.
Yeah. I think Bengals win too. Unfortunately,
shit.
I don't want to. I obviously want the Bears to
Some
win,
fan
but
you are.
listen, I'm a fan, bro. I wear a jersey every Sunday. Ask Tyler. No, our defense, like Austin said, I mean, in 2018, we're living in the past. Not supposed to,
Right.
but that defense was great then, and it's
Is
just
that with or without Jay Cutler?
that was way after Jay Cutler. We were on a Super Bowl, Jay Cutler, if he didn't break his thumb, but whatever.
The Raiders would have won a Super Bowl if Derek Carr didn't break his finger too. That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. Both our teams didn't win a Super Bowl.
Packers would want to win the Super Bowl.
If what?
Aaron Rodgers was single that year.
Single.
He plays bad when he's in a relationship, and now he's married.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Bears
1
defense,
point.
terrible. Cleo Mack, underperforming. Robert Quinn, underperforming. Eddie Goldman, he's been out. Eddie Jackson, the guy looks like he hasn't played a fucking game of football ever. His football IQ he looks stupid out there. You guys saw that first touchdown with Van Jefferson down the field.
Wide
you
open.
didn't watch the game. Well, yeah, Van Jefferson was wide open, caught the ball, and he fell down, and both Bears safeties just ran by him, didn't touch him. Van Jefferson got up and ran in for a touchdown.
Speaking of that,
Touch the guy. What is this, college football, bro? You haven't been at Alabama for what, like 5 years now? You're supposed to be one of the best safeties in the league? Come on,
wasn't
man.
there a picture of the Bears? They were at the 20-yard line, and the receiver was at the 10-yard line catching a ball. It was like four of the secondary.
It was
I think it was Van Jefferson.
no, it wasn't Van Jefferson. It was
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, it was
That's
Cooper
who it
Kupp's
was,
touchdown.
yeah.
Yeah, no Bears DBs near him whatsoever. Jalen Johnson, he's our best corner, but he's a second-year guy. Pretty young. I mean, he's supposed to be solid, but the rest of our cornerbacks, absolute no-names. And then the offense, I mean, everybody knows. Andy Dalton, what the hell? Can we see Justin Fields, please? Matt Nagy, though, the guy needs to go. I'm done with him. He's such
That's
a bad...
exactly what I was about to
all right,
ask you.
Well, honestly, I don't think he's a terrible head coach, but he needs to give that play calling up. He did it last year. I think it was 6 games left. Gave it up to Bill Lazor. Gave up the play calling. Our offense started.
Name, Laser?
That is a crazy name.
Damn.
It sounds like the guy from Dodgeball. Blazer.
And our offense looked a lot better. Matt Nagy, he didn't run. He didn't have our wide receivers run. There was like 2 routes that were over 12 yards last week. How do you win a game like that?
Hey, but good thing you paid Allen Robinson, right?
It's not looking good. I know. Believe me.
Thank God you got that guy back.
I know.
I do agree with what you're saying, though. I think it takes a
Looking
lot off
downhill.
of being the head coach of the football team when you're calling plays, because John
It does.
Gruden does it.
Yeah.
John Gruden does it, and it even stresses the players out that are receiving those plays, like your
Yeah.
quarterback. John Gruden is an intense coach. I'm sure Matt Nagy's not that much far behind.
Right.
Calling the plays like that, you're expecting so much because you're the head honcho.
Right.
I think I've always personally thought this. I think head coaches should never call offensive plays. I think that they should have a say in it. Like they'll be on the headset like, hey, let's not run 13 veer, let's run 14 veer, go the other way or something like that. Just like say, overcall it if they don't like it. But the offensive coordinator, you have to have trust in offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They score points. Just like your defensive coordinator knows how to not allow points.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch, I think there's only maybe not even a full handful of head coaches that can call their plays in the NFL. Andy Reid comes to mind, right? He calls his own plays, right?
And I love when he's a great. He's a
there's only a
he's
handful.
one of a kind.
Mike McCarthy or Matt LaFleur in there.
Matt LaFleur is good. I like him.
I like Matt, but you watch
Mike
if you watch
McCarthy.
a Bears game, you might notice this,
Vrabel?
now that I say it, but Matt Nagy is just constantly buried into his play sheet. It's like he's not
All I
even
see
watching
is,
the game.
BU or whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck it
BU.
says on it.
This should just say be bad because
Yeah.
that's what Matt Nagy is. You know what I mean? It's terrible. And all he's buried into, it's like he doesn't even watch the last play. He's just like looking at every time they clip to him, he's buried in the play sheet.
Yeah.
He has no idea what's going on in the game. And
He's not even looking at the spread either. Like
no, it was 4th and 15. The guy runs the furthest route ran on a 4th and 15 play that they went for was 12 yards, which Andy Dalton threw to incomplete. What? Wow!
Is
What
he
do we even?
looking at a play sheet, or does he have the menu from Michael Jordan's Steakhouse? He's just seeing what he wants
Yeah,
for dinner
exactly.
afterwards.
I think what he did was he screenshotted like 6 Madden plays, and he's like, "All right, this one's got to work on this one."
It's just it's
like
bad.
Coach Wilson when he was a modified head coach. He was
Best thing about that Bears game, David Montgomery. Dude looked solid.
Yes.
Our offensive line isn't that great. For him to, have another 100 yards, I think this is like 8 games in a row or something with 100 yards going back to last year.
Yeah.
Dude looks solid. If, yeah, that was about the only positive thing that came from the Bears game.
Real quick, you don't have to elaborate on it. What is your what do you think the record is going to be this season?
Bears?
Oof. Oof. Big
Just
oof.
instant reaction after week 1.
Like, I'll be happy if they win like 6 games.
Wow.
6 and 11.
Yeah.
I'm going with the
Well,
Raiders.
no, I won't be happy, but that's probably my just quick prediction.
Yeah.
I think Matt Nagy rides this Andy Dalton train for as long as possible. Why? I don't know. I want to see Justin Fields. Everybody wants to see Justin Fields. He came in, completed a couple passes, ran for a touchdown. They said he's a good chess piece to their offensive strategy. Well, let's not have a chess piece. Let's make him the quarterback.
He's the
You know what I
king
mean?
of their
He's not
chess
Taysom Hill.
pieces.
You know what I mean?
If they added Justin Fields, I guarantee you they would win. They would win about 2 or 3
Justin
more
Fields,
games.
Probably 8 wins.
Yeah.
Look good.
And I think
Some
it would
positive
electrify the
feedback.
offense. It would electrify the defense. Your defense wouldn't be on
Well,
the field
that's
as long
not-
because it would extend plays.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Same type of situation as San Francisco.
Right.
You know what you're going to get
But
with
you
Andy
have
Dalton.
good Jim. You have
know
Jimmy
what
G.
you're going to get with Jimmy G. No, but he hasn't proven himself.
I would
They
rather
went-
take
they went
Jimmy
to
G over
one
Andy
Super
Dalton.
Bowl and they were carried by the defense.
You'd rather take Andy Dalton over Jimmy G?
That's not what I was saying at all. I'd rather take Trey Lance and Justin Fields over both those guys.
Right, but I would rather. Okay, I see what he's saying because Andy Dalton's not the answer for the Chicago offense. We know that. The Niners have won with Jimmy G. He's a good quarterback when he's on the field. I think sprinkle Trey Lance in rather than insert Justin Fields in is the right answers because Justin Fields needs to play right now. They are very good with Justin Fields. With Trey Lance, they don't need Trey Lance technically. They could still win with Jimmy G if he's on the field healthy. I do think Trey Lance is the
We'll
answer.
see when they get a real opponent. I mean, they played the Lions and they
I
almost
know.
lost.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, it's not like they put up 16 points and almost lost. They put up like 40 points, and then
That's even scarier. Giving up. Alright, we're back.
Sorry for the short intermission. That intermission was brought to you by Insane Games. Welcome to Insane Games TV and the No Look podcast. Go to your local Insane Games video game dealer and get 25% off with the code NOLOOK in all capitals off of any used and pre-owned video games.
Whoever is working behind the register, just yell, "No look!" and you'll instantly get 25% off.
Anyways, we were talking about the Bears, how bad they were.
Raider did not like the take.
Yeah,
obviously.
Raider did not like the take, but we're gonna go next, kind of speed round until we get to another game that I want to get to. Browns versus Texans. I'm going to go Browns. This is a pretty easy one for me. Texans obviously coming off the win for the Jaguars. Browns are an obviously stronger opponent. Great defense, great offense. Going Browns.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go Browns here. Texans, I think everybody, including myself, didn't realize Texans, yeah, they don't have a solid squad, but they have a ton of veterans on that team that have played a lot of games, a lot of in-game experience. I don't even know. Who the hell played quarterback for them?
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, that's right.
That's right.
I think they're going to put up points. More points than people think. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, but yeah, you got to go Browns. Baker looked good. They went toe-for-toe with, reigning AFC champs, Chiefs. Cleveland, that's my pick.
Yeah, I'm
Got the
agree
dog
with you
trainer on
guys.
site.
Up and down all around. Do it again if you see some Brown. I'm going Cleveland in this
Wow.
one.
Next game we got Saints versus Panthers. Again, this is another one that's easy for me. I got to go with the Saints over the Panthers. Although the Panthers came off that easy win against the Jets, I guess you could say the same for the Saints against the Packers. But I don't think Jameis has a big game like he did last week.
No.
But I do think that they're just that much stronger defensively, obviously, than the Panthers. I think this is an easy win for the Saints.
I mean, clearly the Saints are legit. Jameis Winston, he got the LASIK surgery. He can see the field. He's been doing those.
I can see clearly now.
He's been doing those weird.
The W's are gone.
Off season. He did that last week too, though. You see that?
No.
Yeah, he brought the W back. But you see the off season videos. You got all these NFL players. They're going to high-end practice facilities. Jameis Winston, he's in a community area at his apartment complex, and he's out there doing footwork drills. Clearly, it doesn't matter. It still works. It's going to be all Saints for me, and they're marching to town, and they're marching out with a W.
Yeah, I go Saints too. I think this is going to be a closer game than you think, though. I don't think Carolina's terrible. A lot of weapons. I don't think their defense is very good, though. Like you said, that LASIK he got, I think James is going to be solid this year. Sat behind Drew Brees, learned how to,
He's still a scumbag, though. Let's be honest.
I mean, dude likes crab legs, whatever.
I mean, not only that, other legs, too.
Whatever. And, I think James is going to be solid. That was a lot of fun to watch last week for me.
Also,
Packers stink. That was
very
awesome.
weird stat line. 5 touchdowns for 138 passing yards.
Yeah, it was a very weird stat line. He only threw the ball not even
14 times, I
Yeah,
think.
not even I think it was 16. I think it went 14 for 16 or something like that. 140 yards, 5 TDs.
I mean, that's
what kind of game is that?
When you get a dynamic back like Alvin Kamara and you got a key on him, I mean, it just opens up a lot more opportunities in the pass game.
So would you say Derrick Henry is harder to guard, or Alvin Kamara is harder to guard?
Like to scheme against
defensively,
defense? No. Derrick Henry is one-dimensional, but he's still rushing for 2,000 yards in a season. That's probably even harder to do. You load the box, the guy's still ripping off, 80-yard touchdown runs. But Alvin Kamara, him and Christian McCaffrey, I mean, they're some of the best backs we've seen probably in the last 20 years. Just how dynamic they are between the tackles, outside, in the passing game. There's not much you can do to slow those guys down.
Speaking of Derrick Henry, we got the Seahawks versus the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the hardest games to pick for me this week, I will say. Although the Titans are coming off that loss, I could see a bounce back game, but for me, this one's in Seattle. I couldn't go against the Seahawks on this one. I think the Seahawks offense is very well in sync this year, just like they were in years past. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf got a touchdown. Luckily last week I needed it. And then they got Chris Carson, who's coming off the injury, playing very well. They have some, good defensive and offensive line pieces. I think they're just a little bit stronger in Seattle than the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take Seahawks too. It's in Seattle, right?
Right.
Yeah, in Seattle, that's tough. I think it takes more than a couple weeks for the Titans to figure out this offense. They got a lot of weapons, but it's not always easy to put up points when you have that many stars. I feel like Seattle is just unbeaten in September too. Like early in the year, Seattle, you don't want to play them. Later on, they usually fall off. Russell Wilson stops cooking. He's not hungry anymore.
Switches up his diet plan.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, this one's a no-brainer for me. I feel like the Seahawks are one of those teams this year that I won't say underrated, but they're kind of sneaky in the sense that they didn't really have many changes, for or against them. They got the same squad, much like the Steelers. It's like, okay, pretty bland, you know what you're getting. But they still got Russ. They still got DK and Lockett. They still got a solid defense.
They added Gerald Everett, who's a good target for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I think they pull away with this one easily.
Next one we got is Cardinals versus the Vikings. I have to say, last week I was on record for saying I'm not impressed with this Cardinals team. I said it myself. And then I watched the game with Brendan last week, and I was like, well, shit. This team is dynamic.
They looked good, right? They looked
against
really
the Titans,
good.
too.
At least that offense. That offense looked really good.
Speaking of the Titans, against the Titans, a team that everybody has as the favorites coming out of the AFC in some cases. Kyler Murray, man. I thought there's only one ball. How do you get all these guys involved? A.J. Green got the ball. DeAndre Hopkins got the ball. Oh, wait, two touchdowns to Christian Kirk? Okay. And then you got, James Conner out of the backfield. They had Chase Edmonds. I was like, how can they involve all these guys? Well, they found a way, and it worked. Kyler Murray had 5 touchdowns. I think a rushing touchdown, too. He was electric that whole entire game. Impossible to stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride that into this week, and I'm going to go to Cardinals over the Vikings. I do like the Vikings offense a little bit. I don't think they'll get much out of Thielen like they did last week. Same with Dalvin Cook. I think Chandler Jones, 5 sacks last week.
That's incredible,
Absolutely
right?
insane.
Some
guys don't even get 5 sacks in a season.
Yeah, that's better than a lot of guys' seasons.
Yeah.
5 sacks in one game.
This guy's going to
Not only that, but he had 5 sacks. I think it was 3 tackles for a loss and a forced fumble.
Defensive player of the year already. He's already up there.
Yeah.
That's John Bones.
I saw Madden bumped his rating up like 4 overall points just from that game.
Really?
Yeah.
No doubt it. He
Madden
deserves
up than
it.
4. It was something like 3 or 4. They bumped it up.
Well, I'm going Cardinals. Who do you
Yeah,
got?
I'm going Cardinals too. I think Vikings defense is terrible. Kirk Cousins, he's not the guy. He hasn't been. He never will be. They might put up some points. I think I think this will be a high scoring game. I'm not sure what the over-under's looking like, but probably take the over. Kirk Cousins probably sling the ball over the place.
By a million.
But
hammer the over.
Yeah, Kyler Murray made a couple throws last week that I was just blown away by. There was one he was backpedaling straight back and threw the ball.
Hopkins.
Yeah, on a dime. Backpedaling like as fast as he can and just all upper body just drops it into a basket.
Actually, I think that was the Christian Kirk because it was over his shoulder.
And it was D-Hop because he had the crazy catch.
You remember? I think he did 2.
I think the throw that I was talking about was to D-Hop, but that Christian Kirk throw
caught it
also
over
was
his
on a
shoulder,
dime.
and I'm like,
that
God
catch
damn.
by him, dude, it wasn't over his shoulder. It was. He's running as fast as he
He's
can.
running like this, hoping that the ball lands.
They showed a
basket.
picture of him, dude. The guy was doing like a scorpion, like caught the ball. Crazy.
Yeah, this one's a no-brainer. It's gonna be all Cardinals. Kyler Murray, much like Josh Allen, I think he's coming into his own. He's had the experience. He's got enough years under his belt in that offensive play scheme, if you will. They got all the weapons. We're talking about Green, Kirk, and DeAndre Hopkins, second best wide receiver in the league to Devontae Adams. But I digress. Vikings.
Is Allen Robinson number 3 for you?
Wide receiver? No, stop it.
It's not even a conversation.
Former Penn State
Guy's not
great.
even going to be
The
better
Vikings, they don't even know
He should
what
be a
their
Raider.
identity is. Their defense sucks. They have a lot of players on the offensive side. You know, if Dalvin Cook stays healthy and they keep integrating and I'd say like focusing their offense around Justin Jefferson just because of how dynamic of a player he is, they might find some luck, but they haven't figured it out yet. It's all Cardinals.
Also, Everson Griffin out for this game.
Oh, really?
Swerved a deer
Oh,
and got into a car accident, got a concussion.
damn.
Good
Yeah.
guy, though. Not hitting
I
the
know.
deer.
I don't think it was a deer. It might have been an animal, but I think it was a deer. Minnesota.
Wasn't a human.
Wasn't a human. Swerved an animal, hit a tree or some shit like
Well,
that. Got a
jeez.
concussion. Glad
Hope
he's
he's
okay,
alright,
but
Okay,
yeah.
He's all right.
Next game we got NFC South rivalry: Bucks versus Falcons. I know someone who's going to this game.
No fooling? Wow.
She's working.
She's working it.
Oh,
You
shit,
don't remember
okay.
him telling you?
Yeah.
Inside? Okay.
That's pretty cool.
She's gonna hopefully walk up to Gronk and be like, "Hey, I'll send you toe pics. Just Venmo me a few $100 every week."
Gronk and known toe guy?
I don't know, but I hope he
We'll
is.
find out, right?
I gotta
Well,
pay. I gotta
you
pay
said-
some bills.
You said you're retiring the ship pumping game?
Yeah. Are you
Well,
taking
I'm
it
not,
over?
because this is it. Bucks, they're going to kill these guys, man.
Brendan in the shit
Absolutely.
pumping game of the week. I love it. That's electric.
Absolutely, dude.
By how much?
Oh, man. I don't know. A lot. It's going to be bad, though, dude.
A lot of points.
Because
now.
the Falcons, they looked awful last week.
The thing that pissed
their
me off the
defense
most.
is terrible. Matt Ryan clearly can't score a touchdown. I need Calvin Ridley to do better.
Well, that's the thing. The thing that pissed me off the most, Calvin Ridley had 5 receptions and it was all in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then nowhere to
I
be
know.
found.
I was hyped. You saw.
Yeah, I was there.
I know.
And I was like,
And it was just a bad
you got
day.
Calvin Ridley consistently outrunning these, defensive players.
Falcons need to blow it up. Keep Calvin Ridley. That's it. Get rid of everybody else. Mike Davis, he didn't do very well.
I've been
Everybody
saying this
was
for
high on
weeks.
him because of how good of a season he had last year in Carolina.
No.
He didn't do well. Calvin Ridley's all they got. Matt Ryan.
Well,
It's
Kyle
looking
Pitts.
Kyle Pitts, but he only had a few catches too, right? He
Yeah.
didn't. I mean, tight end's one of those positions. It's like the toughest position to transition from college to NFL. So he'll be a stud, but blow that team up. Get rid of Matt Ryan. I'm sick of watching him not be able to score. Bucks are gonna shit pump him.
I'll piggyback off that because I can't shit pump games anymore, but I'll piggyback on Brendan's take of shit pumping since I can do that. I can be as
I don't know if that's allowed.
I can be like Backpack from Dora. Like I'll be backpack.
I mean,
backpack.
let's
I'm
be
on
honest.
his back. I'll piggyback it.
Bucks they looked great again. I mean, they
They have
gave
too
up a lot
many-
of points to the Cowboys, but
That's the Cowboys though.
yeah,
That's
the
Dak
Cowboys are
Prescott,
gonna do
Amari
that.
Cooper,
Yeah, Cowboys have a lot of weapons.
CD Lamb, like
Matt Ryan and the Falcons don't.
right.
So
Bucks are.
I think
Bucks,
it's gonna be ugly. Is it in? It's in Atlanta.
No, it's in-
how,
I'm sorry.
How would you be going?
Mush
to?
brain. Forgive me.
Yeah. In Tampa Bay, so the sun's gonna be beating down on the Falcons'
Yeah.
foreheads, unlike it
Matt
does in
Ryan's
the
gonna
dome.
get sunburnt.
Yeah.
You know.
Better wear that SPF 40, but I mean, Mike Evans I think is gonna have a big game this week because he didn't have one
Please
last
keep
week.
going.
He didn't have one last week. Pass the ball too much to Antonio Brown and Gronk. You're gonna see a lot of Mike Evans in the end zone. You're also gonna see a lot of Tom Brady handing the ball off and running it up their throats. I think it's gonna be
You
a
think Leonard Fournette's a start then?
Rojo.
Rojo start. You got him.
I'm
don't
not
you?
gonna say, and I'm not starting him because
He
he's
had
on.
negative points last
He
week.
had 0.6. Listen, I'm not gonna start him because obviously it's 50-50. But what a notorious Bruce Arians does is hands the ball off to one back one week, hands the ball off to the next back the next week. It's Rojo's turn. Obviously Giovanni Bernard's gonna get some, but
Oh, I forgot about that. They got
Yeah.
so many names
Nah,
on
I mean,
that offense.
Rojo's still in the doghouse. I don't want to talk about the Falcons too much, but I will kind of. I guess I'm gonna backpack on Brennan as well and say the Falcons.
are you the map? I'm the backpack. You're the map.
Backpack,
Can I be
backpack.
Swiper?
No, that's Raider. He's a swiper.
Swiper, no swiping.
Swiping
Raider,
the
no
fuck-
Raider.
Raiders swiping the goddamn cords.
Yeah.
No. So like I said, I don't want to talk about the Falcons too much. but I think they're a couple years behind the rebuilding process. They shipped off Julio. They should have shipped off Matt Ryan. They should have tried to get some, draft pick compensation for him and maybe a couple of other more veteran guys. I think Ridley is a good building piece. Obviously, Kyle Pitts. They don't have a good running back. I don't like Mike Davis at all. I think with the acquisition of Wayne Gallman, they should try to integrate him in the offense a little more.
Yeah, I agree.
Not much to say about the Bucs. They're going to come in. They're going to steamroll them. I mean, TB12, he's going to do his thing. It's probably going to – lock of Tom Brady throwing over 350 yards and a lock and the over in this game. It's going to be a complete shootout. More so on the Buccaneers side. I think they dropped 40. I think the Falcons dropped 20-something. So if that over-under's, in the 50s, instant lock.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think Tom Brady and Gronk are having more fun playing football than they ever did. They obviously had a great time winning Super Bowls, but I'm talking about just your day-to-day, living life with your boys, enjoying the game, enjoying the locker room. Mm-hmm. You saw that video of them out on the field with the little kiddie pool with the Viper sunglasses on. Those dudes are loving life right now, and I think it's translating to the field because
I have not seen Tom Brady happier.
Yeah, the dude
less
looks
stressed. He
wicked
doesn't
happy.
have Belichick on his back. He's got all these targets around him. He actually has a defense, that's solid all the way around. Yeah. Secondary, they do not have Murphy Bunting this game, and they probably won't have him for the next 3 games or 4 games. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the video footage, look it up if you haven't. Fucking dude dislocated his elbow.
Oh, I saw it.
That shit wrapped around his back.
Who was this?
Murphy Bunting, their cornerback.
Oh, yeah.
I think I sent it to you. I sent it to you on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
It doesn't matter, though, against the Falcons. It's still going to be all Bucs. Next game we got, speaking of the Bucs, their last opponent, the Cowboys, are going against the Chargers, AFC West team that went 1-0 this past week.
Is this a 4 o'clock game?
This is the last 4 o'clock game that I have on my list. The next one is the 8:20, and then we have the Monday night game. This was another hard one for me. The Seahawks and Titans and the Cowboys and Chargers was a very hard one for me.
Yeah.
I had to look at defense and I had to look at offense. I love the Chargers defense with Joey Bosa being back. He's rushing the passer so much, and Derwin James in the secondary is making a huge difference. I just don't think it makes a huge difference against the Cowboys this week. I think they're getting Zach Martin back from the COVID list. Zeke's going to be able to run the ball a little bit better. They're going to be a little bit more in unison with each other. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. They got all these, Blake Jarwin, they got all these guys coming out of their offense. Obviously not Michael Gallup this week, but I just think the Cowboys are just so much stronger than the Chargers. So I'm going to have to go Cowboys.
I know you guys were joking about the Rams being my new team now because LA, but the Chargers practice facility actually a 10-minute drive from where I work in Costa Mesa. So if anything, they would.
You said this last week.
They would more so be my new hometown team, much like Tyler's
Tampa Bay Bucks
that he's not actually a fan of.
They're my second favorite.
I think I'd rather be a fan of the Chargers.
Oh hell yeah, Justin Herbert. I
Fuck
went on record saying he's one of my top MVP caliber players this year. He showed that in week 1.
Did he?
Justin
Herbert?
Yeah, he
had like 340 passing yards.
Yeah, he had 13 fantasy points though.
Okay, he just didn't. He didn't throw a touchdown.
He's going to throw a touchdown. Harder defenses in the league.
Yeah.
Can I give a take tonight? I feel like I haven't given one take tonight.
Here we go.
Interrupted.
Here we go.
May I?
You may.
Thank you, sir.
I'll allow it in my house.
Oh, that's why. He feels comfortable. He's in his own fucking domicile. He can cut me off.
Domicile. Spell that for me.
Domicile.
Sure.
Pretty sure. Anyways, something I'm definitely sure about is I picked the Chargers over the Cowboys. Now, I want to say I do think the Cowboys are good this year. No hard knock effect. They came out week 1 against the Buccaneers, and it was a close game. Obviously they almost won field goal away, right, from winning the game. I do think they finish and play later into the season, I guess I want to say, than the Chargers. But for this week, I'm picking Los Angeles, and I think the Cowboys need to hit a little reset button.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have all the players. I think they have the chemistry. I think they have all the tools to be good. I think they will win the NFC East. Not really saying much there.
Right.
Even though you think that's one of the harder divisions in football.
I think it's one of the
Heineke.
trickier. I think it's a trickier division.
It always is. Because you can win 7 games and win the division.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I
Well,
mean, the Eagles are proving that it's going to be a hard division this year too.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say a hard division to win because you can win 7 games and win it. Competitive in a sense of who's going to be
the least
shitty, right?
Right.
Who won't fuck up the most will win the division.
Well, right now it's the Giants that are fucking up the most, but I think the Cowboys and Eagles are right neck and neck.
Yeah, well, I think the Cowboys look better than the Giants, but I think I'm going with Austin. I think Cowboys
Which
start
I knew you would.
0-2 this week. I think Chargers are a solid squad. Defense is healthy. Joey Bosa, that guy is a freak. Let's be honest. I got Justin Herbert in both my fantasy leagues. So if this guy's prediction of MVP caliber quarterback comes true, I'll be very happy. He looked great last year. Plus they got Austin Eckler back healthy.
We saw what Brady did against the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I will say I think this is going to be another close game for the Cowboys. I don't think they win. I think a lot of points get put up on the board. A lot of fantasy points to be had here. And but I think Chargers come out on top.
See, I don't think it's going to be...
Like Tyler, when he falls asleep.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as close as you guys think. I think it's going to be Cowboys by like 10 plus. Because they're coming out pissed off. They have a long week.
Yeah.
They're coming off that Thursday night game. They have a long week to prepare for this Chargers team. They already know what they're doing. I mean, honestly, the only people that they have to key on is, Keenan Allen and maybe Austin.
Mike Williams had a big game last week.
He drops a lot of balls. That's the biggest problem with Mike Williams year in and year out. This guy is such a great athlete, yet he loves to drop the ball.
He's a boomer bust guy.
He is,
Yeah,
but like the
100%.
problem is he would be like an all-elite wide receiver, top 5 in stats if he didn't drop the ball.
Yeah, he does drop a lot of passes, and he's also injury prone. I think it's a blessing and a curse for how athletic he is because I
Right.
feel like he can be king of the jump ball, but the fact that he can jump jump so high, and he's so athletic that I feel like every time he goes up for a jump ball, the chances of him coming down and hurting himself are high.
So,
and that's what usually happens with him.
The funny thing is last year against the Raiders, he was up for a jump ball and ended up dropping it.
Mm-hmm.
But he had it in the air and ended up hitting the ground and was an incomplete pass. So the Raiders ended up winning that game. So yeah, he is the king of the jump ball, but he has a problem keeping it in his possession.
It's because you watch replays and it's in slow motion. It looks like this dude's like 8 feet off the ground in the air, and he just comes down on his shoulder or something, and he's out for 2-3 weeks.
Joey Bosa scares me.
That guy's a freak.
He's a freak. Derwin James scares me. He's a freak as well.
Baby.
He's a freak at
Derwin
safety.
James, yeah.
They have a great defense. I think adding Zach Martin into this offensive line, though, just boosts it all around.
See, I think I can agree with that. I mean, like I said, to double down on it, I think a lot of points get put up. I think Zeke has a big week. Dak probably throws a couple more touchdowns, I think their offense is good. But what I think this game comes down to is a couple fourth quarter stops, and I'll take Chargers defense over Cowboys defense.
That's tough for me, but that's neither here
Sorry,
nor there.
Will, if you're watching. Good guy, Will.
Just think the Cowboys are so much better. Next game, we got the 8:20 game on Sunday night, which I found this weird. So the Ravens get not only Monday night last week, but they get Sunday night this week. We get the Chiefs versus the Ravens, 2 AFC West slobber knocker of a teams, and the Raiders and Chiefs versus this piss poor Ravens team.
Sorry, Ben.
I don't understand. No, not sorry, Ben. Why do we have the Ravens in this game when they are absolute dog shit on defense? They're not even good on offense. First off, I don't even know who they have besides Lamar Jackson. Name one other player they have. This is an absolute, if I could say it, an S-pumping game of the week, but I can't anymore. The Chiefs are absolutely going to shit on The Ravens. The Ravens are the worst team right now in football. If I had to bet against them, I would every single fucking week. They are so bad. Lamar Jackson is their only player. Their defense isn't even as good as you think. I mean, the Raiders torched them, right? I mean, if the Raiders, such a bad offense, have no people to scheme against, no run game, no, offensive weapons, nobody on defense to guard their wonderful wide receivers and to guard their offensive, run game. You would think that maybe the team that went to the Super Bowl last year would do even more than that, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Travis Kelce's second best tight end in the league. You got Patrick Mahomes, the number one QB in the league. I mean, this is an absolute shit pumping of a game. The Chiefs over the Ravens by a landslide.
I mean,
I had to get that in there, by the way.
Clip it, send it to Ben.
Clip it and chip it. This is honestly, I believe, going to be a closer game. Part of me wants to take the Ravens. I'm not going to say the Raiders were a trap game week 1. I think the Raiders, Tyler Amos, I don't want you to hear me praising the Raiders. I think the Raiders played pretty well week 1. They came out energized in the new stadium. They had Ice Cube there. They had Lil Jon there.
With fans.
With fans. Oh,
Yeah, it looked
That was the first game with fans we've had.
That field looked amazing, by the
Every
way.
stadium has fans now.
No, I know, but last year they had fans in stadiums, but we didn't.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Mark Davis was like, if I can't go, we all can't go.
Yeah, there's like a handful of
Which was
teams that never
stupid,
had
but
fans.
Why can't show
we
off
might have
the
went to the
quick?
playoffs last year if we had fans.
I'll say as a turf guy, that field really did it for me. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's awesome
I
how
put
they
that-
roll that field outside. They water it. They let the sunlight get on it, and they bring it back in. It's a real field inside. I think the Raiders are gonna do well on it this year. I think Raiders have a good home winning record this year because of the field. It looked fast. It was a fast field.
Doubt who your best employee was? Is this guy right here? You're
Big
talking
turf
about-
guy.
Field was fast.
My bosses would love that field.
Hey, Max
it looked
Crosby,
spectacular.
how was your game last week? Field was fast.
Yeah, it was great. It looked great. That field looked spectacular.
No,
That whole
it didn't.
stadium.
No,
I
it
feel
is.
like you could look
It's
at
the
turf.
fucking Death Star.
I feel like
Yeah.
you could look at turf and get off on it.
I don't know about get off, but close.
What is the?
You know.
What's that type of
Yeah.
grass on the golf course?
Quarter
The
chubby.
blue something?
Bluegrass? Kentucky bluegrass?
No.
What are you talking about?
Isn't there like a type of grass that they import for?
Fescue.
Is that what it is? I thought there was blue fescue.
Kentucky bluegrass is a type of grass.
Oh, I thought that was a type of music. Is it
Bluegrass, yeah, bluegrass is a type of, but Kentucky bluegrass is a type of grass for sure.
Okay.
That's also what you smoke,
Facts.
right? Bluegrass?
Not anymore.
Smokes that bluegrass Reggie.
I'm sober.
Yeah.
Sober Snack. He's talking about the grass. I'm talking about the teams here, as I was saying before. I got interrupted again, but
They did.
that's neither
By
here nor
you.
there. I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs, and I'm gonna go with the safe bet, I guess you could say. I think it's a close game. I don't know if last week's outcome of Chiefs-Browns was more of a testament to how good the Browns are right now, or maybe how the Chiefs have regressed since last season. Obviously, they haven't really lost too many players, but I think the AFC gets a little bit tougher. I'm talking circles right now. I'm going Chiefs.
I don't think they regressed. I think it was like, I feel like in the first half they were kind of playing it like to see how good the Browns were. And then
Thought they were toying with them.
I feel like the Chiefs like stepped up in the second half and were like, all right, now let's actually play football. Because they came out and they balled out like how they should.
Honestly, I think both those teams, Chiefs and Browns, I think we'll see them down the road in the
I agree
playoffs.
100%.
I
AFC
think,
Championship,
I don't think Chiefs regressed. I think Browns got a lot better, and I think that's even more of a testament to how good the Chiefs actually are for winning that game. We're going to see them down the line. Both teams are really good. I think Chiefs steamroll Ravens.
Someone need to hear that.
I won't go as far as saying Ravens are the worst team in the NFL. That seems like a bold take because Lamar Jackson. I'm not huge on Lamar Jackson. Not bad for running back.
That might have been an exaggeration on my end.
Oh,
but-
well, you said it, so I took it seriously. Forgive me.
I mean, the Jets are the worst team, let's be honest.
Yeah, they're bad.
Bears are right up.
Bears are bad.
Jacksonville.
Jags bad. Ravens, I do think are pretty bad. I mean, tons of injuries, right? Right before the season. That's not cool. You hate to see it. But I don't think their defense is great. I just don't think Lamar is the guy. He's fun to watch, runs all over the place, looks like a video game out there, but the Ravens just don't look good. So I think I take Chiefs. I don't think it's I think they steamroll them, but I think Ravens win a few games this year.
I think this one is in Baltimore. I could be wrong. How do you feel about the grass in Baltimore?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll take a look. Prime time,
I
they
don't
got
know if it's bluegrass, but they got blue crabs over there in Baltimore.
They do have blue crabs.
Sticking with the theme here.
So speaking of, good grass, good ass, and I don't know what else rhymes with that, but Packers versus Lions,
Yes.
Monday night football game. Lions coming back against the 49ers last week. Jared Goff, first game in the Lions, putting up points, putting up stats. Where on the other end of the spectrum, you had the Packers who weren't doing much of that.
What was worse, the Packers or Austin's 4 fantasy teams?
How much time you got?
Yeah.
But I'll let you go first. I know you're a known Packer hater, as Austin is a known Bears hater.
Yeah, I hate the Packers. No
Right.
secret. You know what I mean? Bears have been the Packers' little brother for a decade now, more, whatever.
Ever?
It's tough. Yeah. But I don't think we're going to see the same Packers as last week. Although Aaron Rodgers still looks like he's on a beach playing guitar with who was that dude?
Miles
Jared Leto. Oh, never mind.
Who?
Miles Teller.
Yeah, he looked like
That
he
was
was
in Hawaii.
I said on a beach.
Yeah, but I think it was more in the waterfall. He was like TLC. Don't
They
go
were
chasing
playing
waterfall.
guitar in a waterfall?
Yeah, but they went hiking in a waterfall. You didn't see that picture? With
Yeah, no,
Miles
but
Teller?
all right, but I said playing a guitar on a beach.
Don't go chasing
Anyways, Aaron Rodgers
All
looked
right,
like he was still playing guitar with
Coming
Miles
loose at left
Teller,
eye.
and I wonder how good. You think Aaron Rodgers can really play the guitar? You think he's good?
I mean, have you seen his hair? The locks?
The locks
I
are
mean,
flowing.
if you have that type of hair, I feel like you automatically can play guitar. At least Wonderwall, Brennan knows.
I could play
Either
the
that
first
or you
verse.
play like 100 hours of Elder Scrolls Skyrim. There's no like one end of the spectrum
Yeah.
on that.
I would have said Guitar Hero.
Or that. I mean,
Guitar
but then
Hero's
again,
fun.
that's like
I wish they would
guitar.
bring that
You
back.
know?
But
They might. You should ask them.
I think Aaron Rodgers is kind of a psycho, to be honest, because the dude was losing by like 20 points, and there was multiple times they showed him on the sideline. He just had
He's
like a smile
smiling,
on his
yeah.
face. I don't think it was a smile because he doesn't care. I think it was a smile because he knows
In
that's not.
disbelief.
No, I think he knows it's just not how it's going to be all year, and he, you could hear him spelling it RELAX. You could hear it. So I think Packers come out. It's probably going to be the same thing. Packers go up quick on the Lions. Jared Goff throws the ball 50 times. Maybe puts up a couple touchdowns, but Packers win. Lions stink.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to agree with you on this one. I think it's more of the obvious choice. It's in Lambeau, right? I think
I
they're...
believe so. Another good grass field.
Yeah. How do you feel about
that's
the
all right.
grass on Lambeau?
I feel like any of those northern teams, honestly, they kind of struggle. Like, it's just hard because you get into the colder months, and as soon as temps start dropping at night, it's hard to keep that grass looking good.
Interesting. But, like, if...
It is a heated field, though.
Is it? That's impressive. I didn't know that.
Oh,
I wonder
didn't
if
know
most
that
of them.
either.
I mean, I know Chicago's.
Oh, that's
not,
why
but-
they get the snow off, like, right
Oh
away.
yeah.
That's interesting.
I wonder
So they can heat
so-
their field, but they can't, upgrade it. I got it. Makes sense.
Right.
Um,
Stadium's just old as the
Like to
time.
keep
Yeah.
it- they like to keep it pristine,
Retro.
classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't put
Vintage is
seats.
in these days.
They just gotta have metal bleachers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You sat in it
Everybody's
before.
back must hurt after leaving a game.
How does your back feel?
Well, all 3 times I've been to Lambeau Field, they offer, you see at the Little League games or, the
Don't say it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Don't say
I think
it.
I already know. What
I think
you're
my
talking about.
grandma has
the
them.
youth
Your
league
grandpa
soccer
definitely
games,
must have one.
and they get the little chair with
No.
the back on it. You can rent those for $3 a pop.
Why wouldn't they
Almost
just
everyone
put
has
chairs
it.
in there then? Hey, you can rent this
How
for
much did you
$3.
spend on
hey,
your ticket?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, hey, you spent $80 for your ticket, but you're gonna have to cough up another $3 so that your bag doesn't leave here
Yeah.
feeling hunchback in Notre
Listen, the
Dame.
Packers are a team of the community.
Not if they don't care about their community's
by
back.
the community. They don't have a lot of, they're not a big market team. They don't have a lot of revenue incoming. So they got to rely on their fan base. They got to rely on the people coming to watch the games. So,
serial killers too. Don't forget, making a murder. That was in the same area.
Was he a Packers fan?
He must have been.
He had to have
I
been.
denounce him as a true Packers fan. Did you go? Did you give your pick?
No, I will though.
Before
I have the Packers over the Lions. Like you said, I don't think it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers consistently being bad. It's just I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the league for sure. He has too many options. I think they're gonna run absolutely buck wild over this Detroit team, especially in Lambeau on Monday night.
Yeah,
Packers
prime time,
overnight.
Rodgers, LaFleur. I mean, I expect Packers to win big.
Yeah.
My turn?
Yes.
Can you give me
Popcorn Austin.
Can you give me like 3 minutes 57 seconds uninterrupted?
Yes.
You can time me if you
I'll
want.
focus.
I'll time you.
All right, Green Bay Packers. They came out. They played an absolute stinker of a game against the Saints. However, I think that is a testament, as I aforementioned, of how good the Saints actually are behind Jameis Winston. They have a lot of good defensive pieces. Marcus Davenport,
Cam Jordan
completely disrupting the whole Packers offense. In addition to their starting center being out, David Bakhtiari, the best left tackle in the NFL, did not play. This week, also, Zadarius Smith got put on IR. He's not going to be playing. However,
How long is he out for?
What's IR?
I think it's at least 3 weeks.
Yeah. So he's kind of resting up on a
I didn't know
lingering back
if they
issue.
had like a timeline of because I saw that and I meant to mention that.
Yeah. You also interrupted me.
I know, but I had
Not
a
it
serious,
was 38 seconds before this guy interrupted you.
I had a serious question for a Packers owner. I mean, shit.
Anyways, Packers, like Brennan said, Aaron Rodgers, as much speculation as there's been about how committed he is to the organization and the game of football, he's going to come out full force. He's going to get that nice lock of hair, the mullet flowing behind that single strap, chin strap underneath his helmet. He's going to pass for at least 300 yards. So, fantasy owners, don't be weird to start Rodgers against the Lions. The defense is absolutely abysmal. I do think it is somewhat of a close game. I picked like 37-28. I think, I'm not sure what the spread is set at, but I think it's going to be close to 10 points, the difference between the teams. The offense is too prolific. The Saints defense was definitely solid last week. We still got Devontae Adams. We still got Allen Lazard. Oh, wait, we have Aaron Jones. We have A.J. Dillon, which I want to go on record
Robert
saying
Tonyan
the
too.
Packers need to get A.J. Dillon more carries. Obviously, they just paid Aaron Jones a lot of money to stay in Green Bay. I think that was the right call, but I think they should do a solid split in the backfield because we've seen in the past, even last year in the playoffs, the colder games, harder to tackle. They introduced A.J. Dillon, and he absolutely ran wild against teams. I think they need to get him going. He's a downhill type of runner.
They're two
between
different
the
running
tackles.
backs. I mean, Aaron Jones is he's like an Alvin Kamara. That's the way
No,
I
understand
picture him.
that,
Yeah.
but he just
No,
he doesn't do it as well.
That's what I'm saying is like add A.J. Dillon to it because
It's a
A.J.
good
Dillon is a
1-2 punch.
bully ball running back. Like he's gonna run you.
No,
over.
they need to change his pace. They need the defense. The defenses right now, they're keying on
They're still
Aaron
telling
Jones, much like last week.
Right.
The Titans, everyone keyed on Derrick Henry. They know what they're getting. They need to switch up, have a change of pace. On the defensive side of the ball, please do not let Kevin King get one snap. He gave up like 3 touchdowns last week. You drafted Eric Stokes. He came in. He had like 2 deflections. I mean, he looked solid. I'm not sure what you're waiting for. Put him in the starting lineup. That completely changes the landscape. But, I mean, Jared Goff, if this guy passes for half as many passing yards as he did last week against the 49ers, I'll do 2 belly flops in the pool. And also,
wow.
I went on record, I don't know if I went on record. No, I think I texted Tyler. I said if the Lions lose to the Packers this
Yes, you
week, or if
did.
the Packers lose to the Lions, I'm not watching another game of football this season. I'm saying it
He
right
did
now.
say that. He did
That's a lot of
text me.
football you're gonna miss out on,
Yeah,
man.
I don't care.
I don't.
I'm not putting myself through it again. After all, everything that happened this offseason, the highs and lows, the vicissitudes,
Wow.
Big word.
Big
The
word.
Packers
Big word.
had in this
I don't know.
offseason.
That reminds me of Vesuvius or some shit like
Mount
that.
Vesuvius. And to have him come out like that, I think they're kind of in the same boat as the Cowboys, where they kind of start slow, but then find, their identity. They hit their stride. They peak at the right time. But I do think, and I really do hope, they beat the Lions prime time. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to watch this game. I think I land like 6 o'clock.
No, I think you'll be able to
PST.
watch it.
Not the whole game. I might get back in time for
Right.
time.
Right, because it
Um,
starts at 6
I think
out
if
there.
6:20.
6:20.
I think
5:20.
I think if this
5:20.
game,
Wow.
I think if this game was on a Sunday, it would be an absolute blowout. But since it's on a Monday, obviously we'll get the whole Monday night, like
Yeah, you
the
just never
whole
know what's going to happen on Monday night.
amped up shit like that. So it's gonna be a lot closer than it should be. But this game is a Packers game, regardless.
The only thing I'll say, in regards to the Lions, and I feel like much like the Texans, they're out here playing with nothing to lose.
Right.
They're always saying you got to be scared of a guy who has nothing to lose, like in a fight or
Right.
whatever. These teams have nothing to lose. They're going to throw the whole kitchen sink at you. We might see, multiple Hail Marys, any kind of trick plays. So they're going to try to mix it up. I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Who was that cornerback? Kevin King? Is that his
Yeah.
name? Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff online. Packers fans calling for his name.
He got burnt by Scotty Miller in the playoffs last year and
Yeah.
cost the Packers the game
Right.
before
Well, not only
halftime.
Scotty Miller, but also Mike Evans.
Well, okay, that one I could live with. But Scotty Miller, like 10 seconds before halftime. And
Yeah,
he
but
was
Scotty
like,
Miller's the
Has he
white
been on the
Antonio
squad
Brown.
for a bit? I mean, what's
Scotty
what's
Miller
this
is
guy's
like
story?
3 years.
3 years.
I mean, they
He's
didn't.
drafted him.
He's
Rookie?
too busy on Tinder, fucking trying to find girls. And
I don't blame him. But you guys draft. What is he? He's a slot corner then.
no, he's a corner,
guy.
straight up
Cover guy?
corner. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, he was like their number one guy a couple years ago.
Really?
Obviously, now
Until
they have
J.I.,
Jair,
yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Either way, that's neither here nor there. Week 2's coming up. We'll see how the standings rank out. We do have a lot of similar picks, I will say, this week. So,
Yeah.
Brendan, I might have to get your picks on week 3 if it becomes like a force of habit of like a tie or something like that, because we don't have a lot of differing picks this week. But either way,
we can get him to call in.
either way, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. This was fun. Thanks for having
It
me.
was fun. Appreciate you coming on. And I
Yeah.
appreciate
I'm here, baby.
everybody being here in a circle in the Tampa Bay area. We
Yep.
will be at the MFAM BBQ tomorrow. So.
Yes, sir.
Tampa's popping this weekend. We got MFAM barbecue. The Bucks are playing.
Magic
Magic
Johnson's
Johnson's
here.
in town.
Magic Johnson's here.
No. Yeah. Thank you for Brennan for joining. Thank you, Tyler and Ashley, for hosting this episode of
Thank
the
you,
No Look
Raider, for
Podcast.
joining.
Raider.
Even though you yelped like a bitch.
Yep. Yep. You guys just
Um,
want to talk about how Red Sox are ahead of the Yankees real quick, or don't
No.
care?
Red Sox are ahead of the Yankees. There you go.
Half a game, baby. Come for that wild card spot.
Half a game doesn't really make a difference unless we're talking about inches. baby.
Yankees stink. So.
Always to use half an
Yeah.
inch. Hey, listen, for myself, Tyler, Brendan, thank you. And as always, you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Until next time, Wheezy out.
Love you.